Can you explain the importance of momentum and especially how you build up momentum and how you maintain it?
I think it's highly underappreciated and incredibly important, actually, to just keep moving forward. Every time I think, over debate something or something takes too long or whatever, you just sort of get stuck. And
Yeah.
you get stuck when you get stuck, indecision sneaks in, more opinions sneak in, more reasons not to do something sneak in, and it just gets frustrating. And then I think at some point you also start cutting corners because then you just want to get it done, and a lot of things start to fall away. I think in a bad way when you just aren't making forward progress. So this is one of the reasons why we do the 6 week cycles, because you've got to ship or move on after 6 weeks at the most. This is about momentum. It's about other things too, but a lot of it's about momentum. Otherwise, you get stuck in a project for 6 months, and I think few things are more demoralizing than being stuck on something that just has no end in sight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like really, really, really quick wins. It's all wins. I think should just need to happen sooner rather than later, so you can move on to the next thing and keep that pace up.
The funny thing is, for us, 6 week is like a long slog. That's like, oh man, that's a huge project. When I talk to a lot of people, I mean, what do you mean you ship work in 6 weeks with 2 people? I go, what do you mean you don't? Right? Like, there's just so much work that we do where I look at 6 week and I go like, holy shit, that's a long time. And I get just so impatient. So that sense of momentum to get things rolling, sometimes I need the fix of shipping. I think this is something that's one of the few things it's okay to be addicted to as a product maker, especially as a software maker. Be addicted to shipping. And I get antsy if we haven't shipped, if we haven't done something that hasn't improved the product, if we're actively working on it. I think a good example of this was, I think it was last cycle maybe, where I just had I hadn't been programming for a couple of weeks prior, and I was antsy, and we were working on some 6 weekers, and then I teamed up with one of our designers, Jay-Z, and we just took do you know what? We need to ship something. What can we ship quickly? Okay, in Hey, download all attachments. We had kind of tried to work on that one before, and then it turned into a long thing because we thought we had to do it a certain way. And then I just connected with JC. Let's do something in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do something in 3 days? Can we get it out? Boom, out. That level of energy the distance between making a decision that we're going to do something and then seeing it in the wild in 3 days, or in some cases 1 day, is just intoxicating. It is what I live for when it comes to software. I mean, not everything can be a quick win, but the things that can be, oh man, they just feel so great. And they're so great to sort of pepper in there, right? To keep you going between the long, big things. Sometimes we'll work on something that's really important, but it takes 6 weeks. And when we make the announcement, it sounds like it was kind of not a big deal. Like, for example, that download all attachments, right? It was something else I think we have another chapter that talks about like a crowd pleaser. It was something that people had just been asking for a long time. And we knew we should have done it, but it didn't make the cut, whatever. Treated it like a quick win. And then boom, just get it out there. And people are like, oh, this is great, right? And we get a lot of applause for something like that, which always feels good. But it's about having that mix that you have your long, sometimes grinds to get some important stuff done, but then you gotta keep sort of the clock frequency going, that something is happening, not just to the customers who are watching whether you're alive or not, but also to your sense of self.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Another great example was Jason and I did this review of the sign-up process in Basecamp, I think about a month ago or something. We've been talking about do you know what? We should do some things. Maybe we should slim it down. We jump on a call, me, Jason, and Laura, who's in charge of customer success. We walk through the step and really just pause at everything that we just go is this right? Do we need this? Do we not need this? And after that call, we're just there's not just momentum here. There's impatience and motivations to make something happen. And the conclusion we came out of there was we should just cut off this long wizard flow we had that was asking you a bunch of different questions for a bunch of different reasons we no longer really believed in. And you could totally imagine that you reach a conclusion like that. You have a meeting You go through a thing, and then you go like, that is something we should deal with. Okay, let's see. We can, you go through your calendar. 2.5 months from now, we can put that on the schedule and we can assign some, or we can just fucking do it right now. Right fucking now, this week. We're shipping on fucking Friday. That's what's going to happen, right? And that's what we did. And I mean, what's kind of funny about that is, like, sometimes quick wins can be so quick that they're disorientating. And that one was a little bit, right? Like, it was me, Jason, and Laura, and there's a bunch of other people involved in this process and so on. And we were just like, oh yeah, it's live. You're like, what's live? The thing we decided 5 minutes ago is live, right? So there's some trade-offs here. But I think quick wins are just so important for motivation. And motivation is so important for progress and productivity, because productivity is not a fixed, you don't have 100 items of productivity. If you are highly motivated to get something done, you have 250.
Sure.
And you can just get so much more done. This was the thing on that quick win tear where we did the download all attachments. We also did contact groups, which was this other thing where you can quickly and hey write to like 10 people, and you can say, and that came because of the momentum of the other thing, right? Suddenly we went from like steady state productivity of 100, boom, 250. We're on a roll. We're going. Let's do this thing, right?
What about you, Jason? Do you do something similar? Will you take a break from a more long-term project to just get something out there?
Yes, there's definitely times when you do that. I think it's kind of it's sort of funny. It's like a self-care thing. I'll talk about self-care. It's like, we just need to ship something. We need to do something. We need to move forward. So like Sean and I have been working, the other Sean had been working on the new 37signals.com site.
Yeah.
And we just shipped a new version a few days ago with some new nav and some stuff. And this has sort of been sitting around like kind of unfinished because we're working on the basecamp.com site, but that's taking longer just because it's bigger and we're doing like 50 screenshots right now and just like a lot of that. And there was just this welled up feeling of like, we've been working on a bunch of stuff and it hasn't seen the light of day. Like, let's do this for us. Let's just get this new site out there for us. And so like we took a day or two and just kind of tightened that up and shipped that, I think yesterday or the day before. So now like there's some new nav in place. It's not a big deal. It doesn't really matter that much, but it mattered because we took something, we kind of took it across the finish line and got it out to the public. And now we can say it's done. It's out there. We're happy with it. And we can move back to finishing this other big, huge project that's been going on for a while. So sometimes you just have to do that. You just have to do that. Same thing's true about writing. I've got a couple topics on my mind I've been thinking about writing about, and I kind of want to write them in detail, but I think I'm just going to probably write like 3 paragraphs and be done and just get the idea out there because it's like it's enough anyway. And so writing is another place where you can do that. But yeah, I think it's important, very important.